We've been given a case that involves our client, Norma, who has come to us and told us that she has been diagnosed as HIV positive. She is broken up from her ex-partner, Javier, and she's worried that he may have been exposed to the HIV virus as well. She has also disclosed to us that she is afraid to tell Javier about her HIV positive test because she's worried that he might physically harm her. He does have a history of violence towards her. So in trying to decide how we should proceed with this case, we turn to the literature to try and get more information about our legal and ethical obligations. What we found is that there is no one ethical standard for a case like this, and indeed the literature warns that it's unwise to try and make broad decisions for different cases like this one. What we've seen is that duty to warn situations are usually an ethical bind for counselors, because if you don't warn potential victims, such as Norma's ex-partner Javier, then we can be found negligent and may be held legally accountable for that. But at the same time, if we do warn potential victims, then we may be viewed as unnecessarily breaching confidentiality, and again, we can be held legally accountable for that. We also have to take into consideration the various state laws regarding third-party notification for infectious diseases. Many mental health professionals are unaware of their state's laws, and unfortunately, ignorance of state laws is not legal excuse if you do get threatened with a lawsuit. So we found that all the state laws are very different, and we need to be cognizant of that depending on which state our particular ethical dilemma occurred in, because it didn't give a specific state. So we would need to be aware of the specific laws that pertain to our case, but in general, most of the literature warns that because of the ambiguity with state laws and ethical considerations in a case like ours, there's almost always room for a lawsuit because things aren't spelled out concisely in the literature. A lot of the controversies surrounding informing our client's partner of her positive HIV diagnosis is the nature of the disease itself. HIV is a very virulent disease. It is life-threatening, and an essential part of combating the disease is early detection. So that also puts us in a bind because we worry that if Javier is not informed of his potential HIV exposure, he might not get to fight the disease as early as he possibly could. So based on what we found in the literature about third-party notification in a case like ours, we don't think we have enough ethical or legal justification to inform our client's partner of the exposure to the disease ourselves. What we've decided would be best to do is to encourage our client to discuss her disease with her partner. We've offered our client the option of bringing her ex-partner into a counseling session with us, so there's also a neutral third party present. If Norma refuses to disclose her illness to her ex-partner, then we might also take further steps, such as informing the public health department of Javier's possible exposure to the disease so they could notify him. And then